Hey everybody, welcome on our channel. In this video we are gonna see, what if Naruto got harem with Ashoka, Aayla and Barris. Part 1. Huge shout out to Darkmagicdragon for this story. If you are new on the channel, don't forget to subscribe our channel and like the video too. So without wasting any more time, let's start the story. In a hidden droid base, former Jedi, Count Dooku is seen meditating when a very large quake in the force causes his concentration to break. What was that? Dooku asks himself. There was a large disturbance in the force just now. Just then, a hologram of Darth Sidious appeared on Dooku's desk, making Dooku bow to his master. Greetings, Lord Tyrannus. Sidious greeted with his raspy tone. I have sensed a disturbance in the force from a very power being. I know, my master. I felt it as well. What do you wish of me to do, Lord Sidious? Dooku asked, making Sidious pull out a holodisk of some place with earth on it and transmitted the map to Dooku. I want you to head to this location and find what or whoever caused this disturbance and train them in the ways of the Sith before the Jedi can get their hands on them. Sidious answered. It will be done, my master. Dooku said as the hologram disappeared. Dooku soon entered his solar sailor and flew to the planet that was home to the powerful being. Earth. Near the final valley. Meanwhile, a 13-year-old Naruto is seen destroying trees, rocks, even the ground. Naruto was pissed, very pissed. After he woke up, Sasuke was nowhere in sight and was probably too far away to find him. Sasuke was in his grasp and he let him go to Orochimaru. He failed to bring him back, he broke his promise to Sakura. Just what would she do to him? What would the village do to him? There was nothing he could do. He was alone in this and there was nothing he could do. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. Naruto continuously yelled as he smashed some more trees until an unknown sound caught his ear. Naruto looked up and to his surprise, a ship came floating down toward him before landing about several feet away from him. What the heck? Naruto asked himself, not believing what he was seeing. A door and ramp appeared from the ship and a gray-haired man with a bread came walking down the ramp. The man stopped and stared at Naruto, eyes narrowing as he spied the red energy surrounding him. So, this boy is the one that caused that disturbance in the force. Interesting. Dooku thought to himself before noticing that the boy was growling. The RRR, just who the hell are you, old man? Naruto yelled, slowly holding back his anger. My apologies, young man, but if you don't mind, who are you and what is that massive power surrounding you? Dooku asked curiously, ignoring Naruto's question. The name's Naruto Uzumaki and what this is surrounding me is my own business. Now I'll ask again, who the hell are you? Naruto asked again. Forgive me, my name is Count Dooku, a Sith Lord, and I have a proposition for you. Dooku said, making Naruto raise a brow. What proposition? Naruto asked, starting to calm down. I wish for you to become my apprentice to learn the ways of the Sith. Dooku answered, making Naruto think as the Kubi's chakra started faded away. First off, what's a Sith? And second, what's in it for me? Naruto asked. Naruto might not have been smart, but he wasn't just going to agree to something with a guy that just came from space. Curious are we? Very well, the Sith are beings that have unimaginable power that they can use in any way they see fit. Ask for what you get, you shall receive whatever you desire, such as wealth, woman, and power to do with as you please. What do you say, young one? Dooku asked, making Naruto think for a moment. After a few minutes of thinking over the pros and cons of the situation, the pros won over the cons, and Naruto nodded in agreement. They entered what Naruto soon learned was called a solar sailor and flew through the vast reaches of space, away from Naruto's world. Little did Naruto know that after his training was over, his destiny would soon change. 3 years later. It had now been 3 years since Naruto became Count Dooku's apprentice. Over this course of time, Naruto had learned to use the ways of the Force. He even learned to add what he knew as a shinobi into the mix, making him learn faster and grow stronger. Even his master once commented that he could be stronger than himself, maybe even his own master. Over time, Naruto had changed. He now stood taller and more muscled for endurance, but still had a lean body for speed. His clothes had also changed since he had grown. He now wore a red and black tunic, a black belt around his waist that held his lightsaber, a pair of black baggy pants that reached his shins before ending at a pair of black boots. He also wore a pair of black fingerless plated gloves and a Kakashi-style mask. Currently, Naruto was walking down a hallway to see what his master had called him for. Ever since his master created the Separatist Alliance, the Clone Wars had begun. Naruto had never been able to go on any mission ever since, but now was hopefully going to be the time that he reveals himself. Naruto walked into the room his master was in and gave an eye smile while giving a wave. You call Master Gramps? Naruto asked, making Dooku sigh in frustration. How many times must I tell you not to call me that? Dooku asked, holding back his anger. Anyway, there's finally a mission for you that I think you will have no trouble with. At this, Naruto pumped his fist in excitement. Yes. Yes. It's about time. I've been waiting to use what I learned out in the field. Naruto yelled excitedly before seeing his master's eye twitch, making him stop. Heh, sorry about that, master. It's quite alright, I know how much you are tired of being cooped up in here and not being able to use what I taught you. Now then, this mission will compose of both you and I going to Tatooine to gain Jabba the Hutt's allegiance. Dooku said, making Naruto raise a brow. Jabba the Hutt? Isn't he one of the most powerful crime lords in the Outer Rim? Naruto asked, knowing well and good just who said Hutt was. Indeed, he is. That is why I plan on gaining his allegiance towards the Separatists. Because once we gain his loyalty we shall gain an advantage over the Republic since Jedi controls all of the shipping routes in his territory. Dooku said proudly as they boarded his solar sailor and flew toward Tatooine. Now I see. If we're to gain the Hutt's allegiance, then we'll be able to crush the Republic if their troops can't get any supplies. Naruto said, getting an agreeing nod from his master. Little did Naruto know that he and a certain Jedi Padawan were going to meet. Tatooine. Jabba's palace. Meanwhile, Jedi General Obi-Wan Kenobi's starfighter had just come out of hyperspace over Tatooine, his partner R4, saying something soon after. Don't worry, I'm sure Jabba's in a good mood. Obi-Wan stated before detaching from the hyperspace ring and flying towards the planet. Landing outside the palace, Obi-Wan was greeted by Jabba's personal protocol droid and some guards. We should not keep a wise and powerful Jabba waiting. The droid stated. I wouldn't dream of it. Obi-Wan stated with some amusement as he followed the droid and guards inside. Obi-Wan soon stood in front of Jabba in his throne room. Mighty Jabba, one of our most powerful Jedi is on his way to rescue your son. We will not let you down. Obi-Wan stated seriously, making Jabba say something. The most gracious Jabba has one more small condition. He demands you bring back the slime who kidnapped his little punky muffin. Jabba's droid said. Punky? Obi-Wan questioned with amusement before Jabba continued. Dead or alive? The droid began before continuing. If you do not succeed, Count Dooku and his droid army will. Elsewhere, Naruto and Dooku landed their ship a distance away from Jabba's palace. As they were leaving the ship, Dooku's holodisc starts beeping. Dooku activates the disc and a hologram of Asajj Ventress appears. They have taken the monastery master. Skywalker is here. He's on his way to rescue the Hutt. Ventress stated, making Dooku nod. Well done, Ventress. All is going according to plan. Dooku said broadly. I could easily take them now. Ventress said with an angered look. Patience. Collect the data we need. You will get your chance at revenge soon enough. Dooku said before turning off the holodisc and turning to Naruto, who had a thoughtful look on his face. Skywalker, huh? Isn't he the guy whose arm you cut off? Naruto asked curiously as they got on some speeders and rode through the desert. Indeed he is, but do not be fooled as he is a very powerful Jedi. If you should face him, you are to not hold back and kill him. Dooku stated, surprising Naruto a little. Kill him, huh? I've never killed anyone before. I don't know if I could bring myself to do it. I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. For now, I'll focus on the task at hand right now. Naruto thought as he and Dooku finally made it to Jabba's palace. They soon noticed a Jedi starfighter nearby and decided to wait before entering. The wait was short-lived as Obi-Wan Kenobi walked out of the palace entrance and got in his starfighter, his astromech droid beeping something. I know R4, I want to get out of here too. Obi-Wan stated before his ship took off, not noticing Naruto and Dooku watching him leave before they made their way inside the palace. They soon entered Jabba's throne room, making said worm raise a brow in curiosity. Oh great Jabba the Hutt, we have news of your son. We have discovered it is the Jedi who have kidnapped him. Dooku said, letting down his hood while Naruto stood silent as Jabba asked something. How have you come by this information? The protocol droid asked. We have our ways. More importantly, mighty Jabba, we bring a warning. The Jedi are planning to destroy you. Dooku replied with Naruto nodding at his master's info, while Jabba said something in clear anger. The most wise Jabba demands proof. The protocol droid said. And, he shall have it. Dooku said, an evil smile on his face. Death. Monastery. Meanwhile, Jedi General Anakin Skywalker and his new Padawan Ahsoka Tano are seen walking out of the monastery with the now rescued son of Jabba the Hutt, Rada. How do you like your little buddy now, still cute? Anakin asked Ahsoka, who was carrying the Huttlet. No, he's reminding me of you more and more. Ahsoka replied, making Anakin sneer a little. See, you're two of a kind. Maybe you should carry both of us then. Anakin quipped as he walked ahead of her. Suddenly, Ahsoka noticed that Rada wasn't right when he started coughing, informing Anakin. Master, I think this little guy is sick. He's burning up with a fever. Ahsoka said as she walked up to Anakin, who put his hand on the Huttlet's head. You're right, we gotta get him back to the ship immediately. Trooper, get me a backpack. Anakin ordered one of the troopers. Anakin and Ahsoka soon began trying to put the Huttlet inside the backpack they were given. Unknown to them, the caretaker droid from earlier was watching them, recording what they were doing. Will you just let me do it? Ahsoka said, trying to place the Huttlet inside. I hate huts. Anakin commented as he held the backpack. Overhead, the droid finished recording and gave the recording to Dooku's other apprentice, Asajj Ventress. Once done with the recording, Ventress contacted Dooku via holodisk. My lord, I have the recording you requested. Ventress said. Transmitted at once. Your new objective is to recover the hut. Dooku ordered. And deliver him to Jabba unharmed. Ventress asked. Precisely, do not fail me. Dooku ordered. Tatooine. Jabba's palace. Dooku is showing Jabba the recording of Anakin and Ahsoka putting his son in a backpack while Naruto stood by watching. Though, his gaze lingered on Ahsoka the most. She's pretty cute. Naruto thought before shaking his head. No, what am I thinking? She's a Jedi, my enemy. I can't think that way about an enemy. Besides, even if we were on the same side, I doubt that she would even go for someone like me, Jedi or not. The recording soon ended with Anakin's words ticking off Jabba. As you can see, it is the Jedi who have your son and are plotting against you. Dooku said, angering Jabba even more before he continued. Our droid army has already begun a rescue. Rest assured, mighty Jabba, your son will be saved. Jabba thought for a moment before speaking, his droid translating his words. Mighty Jabba wishes to know what you ask in return. The droid asked. Perhaps you would consider joining our struggle against the Republic. Dooku replied sinisterly. Later, Naruto and Dooku are seen in the corner of Jabba's throne room as Dooku pulls out his holodisk and a hologram of Ventress appears. Have you recovered Jabba's son? Dooku asked. Skywalker is still in possession of the hut and has temporarily eluded me, but he will not escape the system alive. Ventress answered, angering Dooku. Need I remind you, whoever gains Jabba's favor will control the war in the Outer Rim? Only we must be allowed to return Jabba's son to him, alive. Dooku said, making Naruto raise a brow. What does he mean by that? He's not talking about killing Jabba's son, is he? Naruto thought in worry. I understand, master, I will double my efforts. Ventress said respectfully. I hope so, for your sake. Dooku said, glaring at the assassin. Wait. Ventress suddenly said, activating her lightsabers. Well, looks like we'll have to deal with the Jedi when they arrive. Naruto commented with amusement. Indeed. Perhaps I should have sent you in her place to retrieve the hut. Dooku noted as they walked out. Later, Dooku has received another message from Ventress. While Naruto was elsewhere, Dooku had showed the message to Jabba. The Republic had too many clone troopers, my lord. By the time we were able to find Jabba's son, Skywalker had already killed him. Ventress said, making Jabba very pissed at hearing this. Most unfortunate. This is a very unexpected turn of events. I take it you, at least, defeated the Jedi? Dooku asked, playing along with Ventress's act. No, master. The Jedi escaped and are headed to Tatooine. Ventress replied. I'm sure you did the best you could. We will discuss your failure later. Dooku said angrily. Yes, my master. Ventress said shamefully as the hologram turned off. Jabba said something in clear anger and waited for his personal translator to speak for him. Glorious Jabba demands to know why the Jedi would dare come to Tatooine. The droid asked. To kill you, Jabba. Dooku answered, shocking everyone in the room before he continued. The Jedi plot is quite clear now. They only promised to rescue your son to win your trust. Now, Skywalker is coming here to finish his true mission. To wipe out the entire Hutt clan. Jabba cursed at this information, but was calmed by Dooku. If it pleases you, mighty Jabba, this time, we will deal with Skywalker, ourselves. Dooku said as two Magna Guards walked out and showed that they were ready to fight. Meanwhile, Anakin and Ahsoka's ship flew towards the planet. I was hoping I'd never have to lay eyes on this dustball again. Anakin stated as they neared the planet. Okay, what happened? Ahsoka asked, curious as to why her master hates the planet. I don't want to talk about it. How's Stinky holding up? Anakin asked, changing the subject. He seems to be feeling much better. Ahsoka answered, looking at the sleeping Huttlet. His fever's gone. Even you have to admit he's cute when he's asleep. I admit I like him better when he's quiet, but only a little. Anakin admitted before R2 asked something. No, R2, I want the cannon operational first, leave the rear deflector shields for later. No rear shields, master. That's awful risky. Ahsoka stated with concern. The strong attack eliminates the need for defense snips. Anakin replied without any worry. Soon enough though, an alarm went off on the monitor, saying that attacking ships were closing in on them. Attack ships closing. Ahsoka said. Two Magna Guard starfighters are seen firing at the twilight, trying to shoot it down. Somebody doesn't want Stinky to get home in one piece. Anakin yelled as he flew the ship on, trying to avoid being blasted to bits before one shot hit an engine, causing them to fly down to the planet in a nosedive. Wow, quite a welcome home party. Ahsoka said sarcastically. Set the approach vector and make ready to land. Anakin ordered before their ship was hit again. Ahsoka, activate the guns. Ahsoka tried to do as told, but was having trouble since the guns were in the forward position. Anakin told her to go make sure nothing happens to the Huttlet while he started flipping the ship over the other two, waking the Huttlet. He did one last flip before flying forward face to face with one of the enemy ships before blasting it to pieces. However, the second one got lucky by blasting the Twilight's bottom wing off. R2 managed to get the cannon to aim back and blasted the last ship, Anakin praising him for his shot. Though, their excitement was short-lived since their ship was still falling toward the planet at dangerous speeds. On the planet, Naruto watched through a scope as he saw the Twilight crash several miles in the distance. Well, I don't know about you, Master, but I think they're dead. Naruto commented as Dooku came out of Jabba's palace with 3 other Magna Guards. Perhaps, but one can never be too sure. I will go and make sure for myself. Dooku said as he got on his speeder. Oh, and what about me? Naruto asked, looking at his master with a raised brow. If either one of them should get past me with the Huttlet, then you and those Magna Guards shall stop them and kill the Hutt. Dooku answered before zooming off into the distance. Naruto was frozen in place at his master's words. Kill the Huttlet? Can I really do that? No, the bigger question is, can I bring myself to do that and live with myself later? Damn, why does life have to be so hard? Naruto thought as he watched his master go. Sometime later, night had fallen over the desert. Naruto was waiting hours for either Dooku or the GD to arrive. Though, he was starting to get bored, very bored. Ah, when are they gonna show, darn it? Naruto yelled with irritation as he lied back with his hands behind his head and legs dangling over a cliff. Damn, you'd think your master being a Sith Lord could handle some GD, but I guess I was wrong. Naruto said to himself, nonchalantly. Unknown to Naruto, Ahsoka was nearing Jabba's palace with Rada tied around her back and R2 right behind her. Ahsoka soon stopped as she heard someone talking and looked up to see a person's legs hanging over a cliff where Jabba's palace stood. Well, looks like R2 and I made it, but who's that at the cliff? Ahsoka thought before deciding to ask. Geez, I know Master Dooku said that I need to learn how to wait, but wait for how long, damn it? Naruto asked himself, shocking Ahsoka into silence. Did this guy just say Master Dooku? That means he's a Sith. Ahsoka thought with worry. This isn't good. I can't fight a Sith, but it looks like he hasn't noticed us yet. Ahsoka was about to move while keeping her eyes on the Sith, but was surprised when he suddenly sat up and spotted them, showing that he was wearing a mask. Looks like my master was right in knowing what Ujiri would try. Naruto said before jumping down, making Ahsoka ignite her lightsaber. Stay back, separatists, come. Ahsoka yelled, ready to defend herself until her master showed up. Sheesh, I don't attack you yet and you ignite your lightsaber without even asking my name? Naruto questioned, surprising Ahsoka. Well, I'll tell you my name whether you want to know it or not. The name's Naruto Uzumaki, and you are? Ahsoka was a little surprised that the now named Naruto in front of her didn't attack first, but was not lowering her guard. Ahsoka Tano. Now move out of the way, Sith. Ahsoka yelled, ready in case he charged at her. Sorry, but I can't let you go past me. At least, not with him anyway. Naruto said, pointing toward Rada. Fine, then I'll move you myself. Ahsoka stated before using the force to push Naruto into a nearby sand dune. She then started running to get to Jabba's palace, but was stopped as 3 Magna Guards stood up from under the sand. Like I said, you're not getting past me with the kid. Naruto said as got back up and behind Ahsoka. Now, hand him over and make it easier for yourself. Not a chance. Ahsoka yelled, making Naruto sigh in what she thought was sadness. Very well, but just know that I was only trying to help you. Naruto said before drawing his lightsaber and igniting the red blade. He then charged at Ahsoka with his sword raised in the air for a downward strike. Ahsoka quickly blocked the attack, but was not expecting the strong force behind it and was knocked back. Ahsoka stared at him in surprise, but then noticed that the Magna Guard started surrounding her. She quickly dodged a strike from the right and left before jumping over them. However, Naruto used the force to throw her back further, then she wanted and winded up falling a steep dune with Rada crying. Ugh, I thought you liked playing in the sand. Ahsoka said, both Rada and herself coughing up sand. Before she could say more, Naruto and the Magna Guard soon landed in front of her. I'll say it again, give me the kid, or Naruto began, but found himself and on of the Magna Guard's force pushed away by Ahsoka, who soon charged at the other 2 droids. She swung her lightsaber and cut one down before blocking the other one. As she was fighting, the sound of a speeder caught her attention and looked up to see her master overhead. Master? Master? Ahsoka yelled, trying to get the other Jedi's attention, but no avail. He never listens. Too bad, because even if he does make it to Jabba's palace, he'll be killed on sight. Naruto said as he also watched the Jedi Knight go by. Ahsoka gritted her teeth as she fought off the last two Magna Guards. She soon cut them both down. However, she would have been attacked by one that refused to stay down, but was saved R2 zapping it. Thanks R2Y, Ahsoka said, but then focused on Naruto. Okay Sith, it's just us now. Naruto said nothing as he charged at Ahsoka, who did the same. In the flash of their blades, they passed each other. They both stood still for a moment before Naruto's head fell to the ground along with the rest of his body. Ahsoka turned off her lightsaber before turning to R2. Come on R2, we have get Stinky to his father before it's too late. Ahsoka said she climbed the giant sand dune, only pausing a moment to give Naruto's decapitated body one last look before running up to Jabba's palace. However, if she had stayed longer, she would have seen Naruto's body disappear into a puff of smoke. Later, Ahsoka had managed to bring Rada to Jabba, with Anakin giving her some praise, before being held at gunpoint. However, Senator Padme Amadala spoke to Jabba via hologram, explaining that it was his Uncle Zero who had staged the whole thing, along with Count Dooku. Afterward, Jabba made a treaty with the Republic. Now, Ahsoka was speaking to Yoda, Anakin, and Obi-Wan about what she went through before arriving at Jabba's palace. Another Sith you say? Yoda asked, getting a nod from Ahsoka. Proof we will need before making any decisions. Yes master, follow me. Ahsoka said, leading the Jedi to where Naruto's body was, but found that it had completely disappeared without a trace. But, he was right here, I swear. Relax Nips, we're not saying that we don't believe you, but are you sure that you faced a Sith and not just some wanted criminal? Anakin asked. Yes I'm sure. No wanted criminal can use the Force, and I doubt that they can handle a lightsaber as easily as a Jedi. Ahsoka answered. If that is the case then we should be on the lookout for this Naruto Uzumaki. Obi-Wan said, getting a nod from everyone. Agreed. Another Sith trained by Dooku, very dangerous he could be. Yoda said wisely before the rest headed back to the gunship. Unknown to them, they were being watched from overhead by Naruto, who I smiled. Well, looks like I've made my presence known to the Jedi. I have a feeling that things are going to be interesting for me from this point on. Naruto said to himself, mostly looking at Ahsoka before walking off. Naruto is seen flying through hyperspace in his stealth starfighter to the location of the Separatists' latest weapon, the Malevolence. This was an order from his master. To watch over the one in command of the ship, General Grievous. Naruto was curious himself about the weapon's capabilities and wanted to see just what made it so much more dangerous than a regular cruiser. He soon came out of hyperspace and was immediately greeted to the side of a very, very big cruiser. Naruto couldn't help but look upon the ship with both surprise and awe. Damn, that is one big cruiser crusher. Naruto stated. The Resolute. Hangar. While Ahsoka was preparing to attack Grievous's ship along with Shadow Squadron and Jedi Masters Anakin Skywalker and Plo Koon, she suddenly sneezed, getting everyone's attention. Everything alright Snips? Anakin asked. Yes master. Ahsoka answered quickly. That's good. The last thing we need is for anyone to get sick at the moment. Plo stated, going back to preparing his starfighter. Right. Ahsoka said, going back to preparing herself. Back with Naruto. He soon boarded the Malevolence and landed his ship. As he got out of his pilot seat, he was greeted to the side of a tall and menacing droid standing in front of him. You must be the Sith Count Dooku has told me about, Naruto Uzumaki. Grievous questioned, getting a nod from the blonde. Yes, that's me and you must be General Grievous. Now that introductions are over with, if you would be so kind as to show me to the bridge. I would like to see just what this ship can do. Naruto said, getting a nod from Grievous. They soon entered the bridge, where Naruto saw multiple battle droids working at control panels and a hologram of his master, Count Dooku. Ah Naruto, I see you have arrived. Dooku stated. Yes, and I was just about be shown what this ship can do. Naruto said, turning back to Grievous, who nodded before turning to the droids. Prepare to jump into hyperspace and set course for the nearest star system, Rindelia. Grievous ordered. Roger roger. One of the droids said, doing as instructed. It wasn't long before they jumped into hyperspace, and after what only felt like a few minutes they stopped, appearing in front of a fleet of Republic ships. Fleet within range General. A battle droid stated. Excellent, charge the plasma rotors. Grievous ordered, watching as the fleet came closer. Naruto stood by and watched as the droids all worked before looking at the Republic fleet with sadness. It pains me to watch this, it really does. However, if what I've heard about clone troopers is true, then they're just as expendable as our battle droids. Still Naruto thought, watching as the ion cannon charged. Fire the ion weapon. Grievous ordered. The ion cannon fired a very large circular violet energy at the ships. The energy hit the ships, but didn't damage them. On the contrary, after they were hit they immediately stopped. Their shields are down. Another battle droid said. All cannons, open fire. Grievous ordered and watched as the ships were blasted relentlessly. So that's what makes this ship dangerous. You fire the ion cannon to damage all of their electrical systems, and once they're as motionless as a stone, you fire all guns at them until there's nothing left. I must admit, I'm impressed. Naruto said, making the general give him what could only be a smirk. Indeed Naruto, which is also the reason why I had you join General Grievous. To watch over his progress since a ship escaped our weapon and no doubt has made its presence known to the Republic. Dooku stated with venom in his voice. You have nothing to worry about, Master. I'm sure that the good general can handle anything the Republic sends. Naruto stated with an eye smile. The last transport is fleeing, General, you've got them on the run. A battle droid said, getting Grievous's attention. Ah, they won't get far. Charge the plasma rotors and prepare to fire. Grievous said as he stood behind two droids. The ion cannon charged and fired once more, hitting the transport where the cannons fired upon its still form. Boy, this is a lot more fun when they're not shooting back. One droid said to another. I still can't seem to hit anything. The other droid said before Grievous swung and knocked his head off. Grievous, those battle droids are expensive. The Jedi are never that harsh with their clones. Dooku scolded, making Grievous turn to him. The care these Jedi show for their troops is a weakness. Grievous stated. A weakness we shall continue to exploit. I have the coordinates for a new target. Dooku began as he pulled out a holodisk that showed a space station. The Republic's secret Outer Rim medical station. It is unprotected and treating over 60,000 wounded clones. We will do them a favor and put them out of their misery. Once you have destroyed it, there will be nowhere for the Jedi to send their wounded and they will die. Dooku finished with a dark smile, but also making Naruto frown. Killing clones is one thing. Killing wounded men that can't even fight back is another. If an attack does come to the Malevolence, I hope it comes soon. Naruto thought in worry at what they were about to do. It will be a pleasure, my lord. Grievous said with a small bow. I feel very confident leaving the ship under your command, General, as well as yours, Naruto. Dooku said before the hologram finished and shut off. General. A battle droid yelled, getting Grievous's attention. They watched as several escape pods launched from the last ship they hit. Target those escape pods, I have a reputation to uphold. Grievous ordered with glee in his voice, making Naruto sweat drop. Great. I'm stuck on a ship with a cyborg who loves killing for the fun of it. Geez, is my life always going to be filled with freaks? Naruto thought dryly. Irresolute. Hangar. As various clones are preparing Y-wing bombers for the up-and-coming attack on the Malevolence and General Grievous, Anakin, Ahsoka and R2 are seen walking next to one of them. Which one's mine? Ahsoka asked in curiosity. You're with me, you'll be my gunner. Anakin answered, causing Ahsoka to turn to him with a surprised look. Somebody's gotta watch my back. Broadside could do that. Besides, you have R2. Ahsoka said, getting a thanks from said droid. But I so enjoy your company, my Padawan. Anakin said with amusement. Just admit it. You don't like my flying. Ahsoka stated with an accusing voice. No, I know, it's not that. It's just Anakin tried to think of a lie, but stopped Plo Koon's voice. Skywalker. Admiral Wolf Yularen called as he and Plo Koon walked up to them. The enemy warship has attacked our convoy and medical transports near Rendelia. Yularen stated. Medical transports. Only General Grievous would go after clones who can't fight back. Ahsoka said in anger. The Rendelia system near Naboo. Isn't that where our medical base is? I bet that'll be his next target. Anakin said in realization. There are many star clusters in that area. With a ship that big, he will be unable to chart a course that's less than 10 parsecs. Plo said with thoughtful look. Looks we're gonna have to take a shortcut. Admiral, warn that station what's coming. Anakin ordered, getting nod from Yularen before he walked away. This journey may be treacherous. If you lose any ships before you reach the target, Plo began, but was stopped by Anakin. We won't lose anybody. Anakin stated with before climbing into one of the Y-wings. I will come along, by fighter escort. Plo said. Any help is welcome, Master Plo, just try not to fall behind. Anakin said jokingly. I had a feeling you'd be coming along, your ship has already been prepped. Ahsoka said before boarding the ship's gunner seat. Soon enough, Anakin, Ahsoka, Plo, and Shadow Squadron were ready and flew out of the Resolute's hangar. I hope you know what you're doing, Anakin. Obi-Wan spoke through the ship's communicator. Well, if don't, I won't be around to hear the I told you so. Anakin responded back. That's reassuring. Well, take your shortcut and I'll take the long way, but you'd better be there before I arrive. Obi-Wan said, watching as Anakin and his squadron flew by. I'll be there, Obi-Wan. Anakin said as he flew off. Shadow Squadron, Titan formation. Call in. Anakin ordered, getting readies from all of them. Shadow 2, standing by. Matchstick called in. Shadow 3, standing by. Broadside called in. Shadow 4, standing by. Tag called in. As the squadron continued to call in, R2 spoke to Ahsoka. I know R2 this is gonna be a tough one. Ahsoka said worriedly. Cut the chatter, Ahsoka. Anakin said, listening as the rest of the squad called in. Shadow 11, standing by. Hotshot called in. Shadow 12, standing by. Jess called in. Just then, Master Plo's starfighter flew in behind them. Fighter escort ready. Plo said with determination as they continued to fly. This is Admiral Yularen. You are cleared for hyperspace jump. Good hunting, sir. Yularen said, wishing them luck. Thanks, Admiral. Alright boys, let's go. Anakin said with determination in his voice. Broadside, we make it through this one, drinks are on me. Matchstick said enthusiastically. I can already taste it. Broadside said with a thumbs up. They all soon jumped into hyperspace. The Malevolence. Bridge. As the Malevolence is seen flying through hyperspace, Grievous is getting irritated at having to wait so long as the ship flies as fast as it can go. What's taking so long? I want to get there before too many wounded clones escape. Grievous yelled in anger. Sorry sir, but the navicomputer had to calculate a complex course around a large nebula near the medical station. A droid replied as he looked at the navicomputer. They told me this ship was fast. Grievous said in irritation. No offense Grievous, but whether it be in water or space, bigger ships tend to be slower ships. Naruto said with amusement at the general's anger. Watch your mouth boy. Sith or not, I could still kill you with little effort. Grievous growled out. I'd like to see you try, Tin Man. Naruto thought, having to suppress pulling out his lightsaber and cutting down the general where he stood. Anakin's strike force. Anakin and his strike force are seen coming out of hyperspace in front of giant orange nebula. Okay, if we can just manage to navigate through my shortcut, we'll be alright. Anakin said to everyone reassuringly. A nebula can be very unpredictable, I advise caution. Plo warned with concern. Don't worry about us Master Jedi, we can hold. Right Shadow Squadron. Matchstick asked the other clones. Copy that Shadow 2. One clone spoke for all of them. Does anyone care what the Padawan thinks? Ahsoka spoke up. Of course we care Snips, but we're still going through that nebula. Anakin replied. R2 spoke in his usual beeps and whistles, saying something to Ahsoka. Thanks R2 Ahsoka thanked the astromech. As they continued to fly, they soon enter and disappear inside of the giant cloud of gases. As they're flying, they notice just how dense the cloud is around them. This soup is thick. Can you see anything? Matchstick asked. Just keep your eyes on my thrusters Shadow 2. Anakin stated calmly. They'll have to. The scanners are useless. Ahsoka said as she tried to get the scanners working. This is old-fashioned flying. You have to feel your way through to stay on course. Anakin said, making Ahsoka uneasy. Skywalker is right Ahsoka. Clear your mind young one and you will see the path. Plo spoke wisely. Right now, I can't see anything at all. Ahsoka joked, getting smiles from everyone. I always know where I'm going. Broadside spoke up. Yeah, where's that broadside? Matchstick asked his fellow clone. I'm gonna blow up that battleship. Broadside answered determinedly. The clear path if ever there was one. Plo stated as they continued to fly. The Malevolence. Bridge. As the Malevolence is continuing its path through hyperspace, Naruto is seen calmly polishing his lightsaber, while Grievous is off to the side looming over the droid at the navicomputer. In short, it was silent. However, the silence was soon broken by the droid at the next to Grievous. Sir, the navicomputer indicates we only have 1 parsec to go. The droid said to Grievous. Good, we will maximize our casualties with this attack. Grievous said with obvious excitement. Naruto said nothing as he just looked at the general with a scowl. However, he quickly hid his anger for the cyborg as another droid spoke. General, there's an incoming transmission from Count Dooku. Grievous and Naruto walked over to the transmission system just as a hologram of Dooku appeared. Naruto, General Grievous, I've received intelligence from Lord Sidious. The Republic has launched a small strike force to attack the Malevolence. Dooku said with his usual scowl. Let the Republic come, our ship is unstoppable. Grievous said confidently. Skywalker is leading the mission. Do not underestimate him. Either of you. Dooku said, speaking to both of them. I assure you Count, if anything, it is Skywalker who will underestimate this ship and its. Grievous said with even more confidence. No worries Master. When the Republic comes, they won't stand a chance against us. Naruto said, while on the inside he was hoping that this Skywalker's strike force can get the job done. Anakin's strike force. Inside Nebula. As Anakin's strike force is flying through the nebula, Ahsoka got curious and decided to start some conversation. "So Sky Guy, how did you know about this shortcut?" Ahsoka asked. "It's an old smuggler's route. Pilots used to talk about it on Tatooine." Anakin answered, remembering hearing about it when he was younger. "Smuggler's route? Ugh, that makes me feel better," Ahsoka said, placing a hand on her head. "They call it Balmorra Run," Anakin said through the communication system. "Balmorra Run?" Plo yelled in shock. "I think I'm picking up a contact," Ahsoka said as she observed her scanner. "Skywalker, listen to me. We need to turn around," Plo ordered with urgency in his voice. "We can't, not if we're gonna catch Grievous," Anakin stated. "Another contact. This one's much larger," Ahsoka warned. "Skywalker. Balmorra is the nesting ground of the giant Nebre," Plo yelled through the communicator, shocking Anakin. Another. Ahsoka yelled, only to gasp at the sight of a giant flying creature coming out of the gases in front of them. "Take evasive action," Anakin ordered, causing him and his men to lose formation, just barely avoiding hitting the creature. "Those gas gulpers are huge," Ahsoka said and fried at what she was looking at. "Don't shoot or they'll panic," Plo warned. "They'll panic, I'm about to panic," Ahsoka yelled. "There are so many of them," Matchstick yelled in shock. They all continued flying, trying their damnedest to avoid flying right into one. As they flew, Matchstick's wing hit one of the creature's tentacles, causing it to start sparking. "I'm hit. My stabilizer's out," Matchstick yelled, trying to get back control over his ship. "Hold it together, Matchstick," Anakin said in worry. "I'm okay. I got it," Matchstick said, getting control back over his ship. "These things are gonna make a meal out of us," Ahsoka yelled. "All wings, line up behind me," Anakin ordered. "Roger that, boss," Tag said without any hesitation. All fighters then lined up behind Anakin and followed his ship as he flew through the giant creatures that were surrounding them. "Hurry, they will not follow you beyond the nebula," Plo ordered as they flew as fast as they could. As they were flying, one of the creatures had its mouth opened in front of them, scaring Ahsoka. "That one looks hungry," Ahsoka said worriedly. "Nah, it's just smiling at ya," Anakin joked as they flew over and dodged others before finally seeing an exit. "We're coming out of it," Ahsoka yelled in joy as they flew out of the nebula. "Let's hope your shortcut paid off." "We're not far behind Grievous now," Anakin said with a smile. Later, as the strike force is moving to the medical station, Plo notices that Matchstick's thruster has some fire on it from earlier. "Shadow 2, what is the damage to your ship?" Plo asked in concern. "Just a scratch, sir," Matchstick replied. "We must not take any more unnecessary risks. If we lose even a single ship, our mission is that much closer to failure," Plo warned. "Understood, Master Plo, but we didn't lose any ships and I didn't," Anakin began, but was interrupted. "Sir, another contact," Matchstick said, getting everyone's attention. "I thought those things wouldn't follow use?" Ahsoka asked confused. "Not following, coming out of hyperspace. It's a ship. It's the Malevolence," Matchstick replied. Just then, the Malevolence appeared out of hyperspace, heading right for the medical station. "The Malevolence. Bridge. A squadron of Republic fighters is approaching," a droid stated. Skywalker Grievous snarled as he watched Anakin's strike force coming his way. "Launch fighters and bring the ship around. There are several medical transports surrounding the station," a droid said as he observed his computer screen. Said transports were just now leaving the station to get the injured as far away as possible before it was too late. "Target the transports first. I want every single ship destroyed," Grievous ordered. "Roger, roger," a droid said before charging the ion cannon. The ion cannon charged before firing, hitting the medical transports. At this, the Malevolence began firing on them. "Ah, this is too easy," Grievous stated with amusement, not noticing that Naruto had long since disappeared from the bridge. Said Blonde was currently in his own personal stealth starfighter, leading the vulture droids toward Anakin's strike force. "Sorry GD, but whether I like it or not, I can't let you stop the Malevolence. Besides, I want to see just how good a pilot you are, Skywalker. If you're really as good as I've heard, then you should have no trouble getting past me," Naruto said to himself as he flew toward Anakin's ship. "We've got fighters coming in," Ahsoka stated before noticing the one in the middle of the enemy ships. "Master." "Yeah, I see it too, Snips," Anakin said as he led his squadron toward the Malevolence, firing at enemy before flying towards Naruto's ship and firing on him. Naruto managed to evade the shots with ease since his ship was much faster than the one firing on him. He too started firing, but was missing himself. However, as they were trying to shoot the other down, they saw that they were flying right at each other, making Naruto smirk under his mask. "The game of chicken, huh? Well, let's just see who dodges first, Jedi. Naruto yelled in excitement. As the ships flew toward the other, Ahsoka started to get worried at how close they were coming. Master? Ahsoka questioned, but didn't get a reply. Naruto quickly spun his ship upside down and flew right over Anakin's ship. Time seemed to slow down as Naruto and Ahsoka made eye contact in that very instant. Both of the other's eyes widened in surprise and shock at seeing the other again before Naruto finally flew by. Snips, you alright back there? Anakin asked, breaking Ahsoka out of her surprised state before she got her bearings. Master, that was the Sith I caught on Tatooine. I knew he was still alive. We have to be careful with this one, he's tricky. Ahsoka said as she and Anakin watched as Naruto turned around and came flying back toward them. As Naruto was flying toward Anakin's strike force once more, he felt his heartbeat increase. What is this feeling in my heart? Naruto mentally questioned as he put a hand to his chest. It's almost like it's trying to tell me something and it involves that Jedi girl, but what? Naruto was broken out of his thoughts when he saw the Malevolence fire the ion cannon again. Surprised, he quickly flew upward as fast as his ship could go. Damn that Grievous. He fired the ion cannon even when his troops and myself were out here. Grrr, when I get my hands on him I'm going to wring his neck. Naruto mentally yelled as he avoided the attack. However, some clones weren't so fortunate. As Matchstick was following Anakin's orders to avoid the ion ray, his thruster blew, causing him to crash into Tag and them both blowing up, while Shadow 6, 7, and 10 were caught in the ray alongside the enemy ships. Anakin and what's left of his squadron continue the mission as planned as they fly over the Malevolence, while also having to avoid getting blasted. As they're flying, Naruto is flying overhead watching them. Now I see what their target is. It's the bridge. Naruto said before sighing in disappointment. Too bad, because they won't make it in time. As Anakin and his squadron enter the enemy's territory, they're having to avoid getting blasted by cannons left and right. Stay on course. Plo ordered. This flank is heavy. Broadside yelled. Master, we need a new plan. Ahsoka yelled as they narrowly avoided getting hit. We can make it, Ahsoka, hang in there. Anakin said, trying to the cannon fire. The Malevolence. Bridge. Sir, the enemy fighters are closing. A droid noted. Let them come. Prepare the ion cannon. First, we will destroy the medical station, then we will finish off Skywalker. Grievous ordered. I have a bad feeling about this. The droid said to himself as he charged the ion cannon. Anakin strike force. Watch those towers, boys. Anakin yelled. We're too close, loosen up. Hotshot yelled, only to be shot down. Master, you can make it, but everyone else is getting shot down. Master. Ahsoka pleaded. The Malevolence. Bridge. Station has been targeted. A droid said. Start the ion cannon acceleration. Grievous demanded. But Naruto. They won't make it. Naruto noted as he watched what he thought was the inevitable. However, what Naruto wasn't expecting to see was for the ships to fly right around and fly toward the starboard ion cannon and firing their missiles at it. Rigged then, just as the ion cannon was about to fire, the cannon exploded, causing the other to blow up as well, thus saving the clones within the medical station. Well, I'll give those guys some credit. Even though they failed in trying to destroy Grievous and the Malevolence, they still saved the medical station. Naruto said as he flew toward the Malevolence before frowning. Still, what's this feeling in my heart? I couldn't possibly have a crush on a girl I only just met not too long ago, and a Jedi no less, could I? Naruto's thoughts were interrupted by the appearance of 3 Republic warships coming out of hyperspace. He quickly headed for the Malevolence, knowing that Grievous was going to have to retreat. But Obi-Wan. As soon as Obi-Wan's fleet came out of hyperspace, they were greeted to the much welcomed sight of the Malevolence in flames and the medical station safe. Anakin, do you copy? Obi-Wan asked the communication system. I'm here. Anakin answered simply. Congratulations, it looks like your mission was a success. Obi-Wan praised. Partially, but Grievous is still alive. The battle was pretty rough on my men, I'm heading for the medical station. Anakin said as he flew to said station. We'll take it from here, but don't worry, we'll call when we need you. Obi-Wan stated. I'll be waiting, Obi-Wan. Anakin said as he and his squadron flew by Obi-Wan viewport. Alright, let's finish what Anakin started. Ahead full. Obi-Wan ordered. The Malevolence. Bridge. Naruto just gotten back to the bridge to see angry Grievous growl in complete anger and irritation at their failure. At this, Naruto couldn't help but smile in amusement at the general's frustration. Serves you right for firing the ion cannon while I was out there. Naruto thought, grateful that his mask hid his mouth at the moment because he was sporting a look that would have pissed off Grievous even more. Grrr, full retreat. Make for separatist space. Grievous ordered, making the droids get back to work before he turned to Naruto. What? Oh, nothing. Just imagining where Master Dooku's going to put your head because he's gonna have it once he finds out about this," Naruto said with amusement clear in his voice, making Grievous scowl at him. The damaged Malevolence is seen retreating from Republic warships after its failure to destroy the clone medical station. As the fleeing ship is relentlessly fired up upon, Admiral Yularen and GD Generals Obi-Wan Kenobi and Plo Koon watch from aboard their cruiser. "Commander, what is the damage level to the enemy ship?" Obi-Wan asked. "She's lost her primary shields and stabilizers, but the ship is so massive it can take all the fire our cannons can give it," the commander answered, making Obi-Wan scratch his chin in thought. "We must summon reinforcements," Plo stated. "That's why I'm here, Master Plo," Anakin said as he and Ahsoka walked in. "Anakin, were you able to contact Master Luminara?" Obi-Wan asked. "Yes, Master. She's busy with a fleet of separatist reinforcements nearby, she won't be able to give us support until she's turned them away," Anakin answered. "Then we'll have to make do with what we have," Obi-Wan stated as they turned back to watching the Malevolence being fired at. The Malevolence. Bridge. Everywhere, various places are being destroyed as the Republic fleet assaults the ship with as much firepower as possible. "We've lost our primary weapons. The hyperdrive has been disabled," a battle droid said as he turned to Grievous and Naruto, making the earlier groan in irritation before another droid got his attention. General, the forward engines are shutting down," the battle droid yelled. "Impossible," Grievous yelled in disbelief. I don't know about you, General, but I feel as if there's no saving the sinking ship. I think now might be the best time to escape while we still can before it's too late, don't you think?" Naruto said, ready to leave at any moment. Grievous was about to say something, but stopped at the sight of Count Dooku appearing via hologram, and he did not look very pleased at the moment. "Uh-oh, looks like someone's in trouble," Naruto commented in amusement with an eye smile. "Irresolute. Bridge. Admiral, status report," Obi-Wan ordered as he, Plo, and Anakin watched the assault while Ahsoka was at a computer console. "They're not attempting to jump to hyperspace. Their hyperdrive must be damaged," Admiral Yularen replied. "This is our chance. All ships target the bridge, maximum firepower," Obi-Wan ordered before watching the bridge being blasted. The Malevolence. Bridge. "It has sustained extensive damage," Grievous stated as the bridge shook, Naruto looking unfazed by the shaking and standing without any trouble. "General, I have arranged a trap which will give you an advantage over the GD," Dooku said. "I assure you, that is unnecessary," Grievous stated. "Do not compound your failure this day by allowing our prized warship do more," Dooku stated. "My lord, they will never capture me or this ship," Grievous stated arrogantly. Just then, the bridge shook again, and Naruto gave Grievous a look. "Yeah, I think they're more interested in blowing this ship up and you along with it," Naruto stated. "Heading towards you is a very important galactic senator. With her as your hostage, they will call off their attack," Dooku stated in complete certainty. "As you wish, my lord," Grievous said with a bow before the hologram disappeared. "The galactic senator, huh? Well, I suppose that's one way to save what's left of this thing," Naruto said with a shrug, making Grievous growl at him. "Silence, I don't need to hear your input about this," Grievous yelled before ordering the battle droids to prepare for their soon-to-be arriving guest. "Great, now we have to take a senator hostage. That's low, even for you, Master," Naruto thought with a hidden frown. Amadala's starship. Senator Padme's ship is seen flying through hyperspace with Padme at the controls, along with her trusty protocol droid C-3PO. "My lady, are you sure the information from Chancellor Palpatine is reliable?" 3PO asked. "Yes, it was secretly given to him by the supreme executive of the banking clan himself. If they leave the Separatist alliance, it will go a long way to shorten this war," Padme answered before the scanners alerted them of their destination. "We're approaching the system now." As soon as they came out of hyperspace, they found themselves face to face with the Malevolence, literally. Oh my goodness," 3PO yelled in fright. "This isn't right. That's a droid warship. We're in the middle of a battle," Padme yelled as she flew the ship out from in front of the massive one before them. The Malevolence. Bridge. "Sir, we're scanning a small ship off our bow," a droid said, getting Grievous's and Naruto's attentions. "Good, our hostage has arrived," Grievous said with clenched fist. "Yes, it looks as though you're right, General," Naruto stated as he watched Silver Starship. Irresolute. Bridge. "Master, I'm picking up a signal near the enemy vessel. Something just came out of hyperspace," Ahsoka yelled. "Enemy reinforcements?" Anakin asked. "No, it looks like a Naboo ship," Ahsoka answered with confusion. "Gunner, stand down. What in blazes are they doing out here?" Obi-Wan questioned. "Ahsoka, contact that ship," Anakin ordered, getting a nod from his Padawan. Naboo cruiser, identify yourself. Ahsoka spoke into the communication system and didn't have to wait long before a hologram of Padme appeared. This is Senator Amadala. Padme began, but was interrupted. Padme, what are doing out here? Anakin asked in surprise. I was sent on a special mission. The Senate was told the banking clan wanted to negotiate a treaty. Padme answered. Get out of there as fast as you can. Anakin yelled in desperation. The Malevolence. Bridge. Activate the tractor beam. Grievous ordered. As soon as he said this, Padme's ship suddenly stops before it starts to be pulled into the hangar of the Malevolence. The Resolute. Bridge. Padme, what's happening? Anakin asked in worry. I'm being pulled inside the droid cruiser by a tractor beam. I will not be made a separatist bargaining chip. Continue your attack. You must destroy this monstrous ship. Padme pleaded. Anakin clenched his fist as he thought about what to do. Soon enough, he came to his decision before turning to Admiral Yularen. Admiral, order our ships to stop firing. Anakin ordered, getting a nod from the Admiral before he went to do just that and ceased the ship's fire. The Malevolence. Bridge. Sir, the Republic cruisers have halted their attack. A droid announced. GD are so predictable. Get a repair team up here. Continue working on the hyperdrive. We're going down to the main hangar. Grievous said as he and Naruto entered the elevator and left. As they're seen walking down a hallway with 2 battle droids following them, they entered the railjet area. This ship must be returned to Count Dooku intact. Grievous stated. Yes, failure is not an option. Naruto stated as he and Grievous stepped onto one of the railjets before it departed. The Resolute. Bridge. Anakin is seen walking off to rescue Padme before Obi-Wan stops him. Where do you think you're going? Obi-Wan asked. Somebody has to save her skin. Anakin answered as he continued walking. I thought you might say that. Obi-Wan said as he followed. However, they didn't get far before Ahsoka spoke up. Hey wait, I'm coming too. Ahsoka said as she ran up alongside them. Sorry Snips, but me and Obi-Wan can handle this. Anakin stated, making Ahsoka cross her arms. Obi-Wan on the other hand had other ideas before speaking. Actually Anakin, having Ahsoka along wouldn't be so bad. After all, she did face the Sith that is currently on board that ship and having her with us would give us an advantage in numbers since Grievous is there too. Obi-Wan explained, making Anakin think before nodding and understanding. Alright, but stay close Snips. Anakin stated, making Ahsoka smile. I always do Sky Guy. Ahsoka quipped as she followed the 2 masters. The Malevolence. Hangar. The railjet soon stopped, allowing Naruto and Grievous to get off before walking towards Padme's ship, neither one noticing Padme and 3PO hiding behind some nearby crates. You two, come with me. Ask for you Uzumaki, stay here. Grievous ordered the 2 battle droids guarding the ship's ramp and making Naruto cross his arms. Naruto was about to protest until he heard a beeping sound with his highly sensitive ears from inside the ship and raised his hands. Fine, whatever you say General. I'll leave it to you to drag the senator out. Naruto said calmly, not bothering to warn Grievous of the trap. Grievous nodded at what he thought was a small victory on his part before walking inside the ship with the battle droids. At this, Naruto quickly moved as far away as possible from the ship and stood next to his faraway one and waited. He didn't have to wait long before the ship exploded. That's payback for firing the ion cannon while I was out there. Servers you right Tin Man. Naruto thought with a small laugh as he watched firefighter droids try to extinguish the flames. However, Naruto's laugh was short-lived as Grievous climbed out of the wreckage with not so much as a scratch. Sound the alarm, we have stowaways on board. Grievous ordered in obvious anger. The Resolute. Hangar. Anakin, Obi-Wan and Ahsoka are seen on board the Twilight, preparing to depart. As Obi-Wan entered the control room, he sat in the seat next to Anakin while Ahsoka leaned on the wall. I trust you've already formed a brilliant plan to rescue the senator. Obi-Wan asked. As a matter of fact, I have. Anakin answered. But do we have a plan B? Every operation needs a backup Anakin. Obi-Wan asked. I don't have a backup yet. But I do have a plan for getting on that ship. Anakin answered quickly. Really? Ahsoka asked with a raised brow. The enemy sensors are obviously damaged. So we'll sneak in behind them and dock at the emergency airlock. Anakin explained. That's your plan. Just fly there, land, hope they don't spot us, and walk in the door. Obi-Wan asked, just trying to see if he understood what his friend's plan was. Basically. Anakin answered simply, making Obi-Wan and Ahsoka sweat drop. Oh, brilliant. Let's get going. Obi-Wan said, getting a nod from Anakin as he activated the ship and flew it out of the hangar. As they flew, Ahsoka had thoughts of her own. That was definitely the same Sith I fought on Tatooine, no doubt about. I don't know what it is, but there's something about him that's drawing me to him, and I want to know what. Ahsoka thought as they left the Resolute. The Malevolence. Hallway. Admin 3PO are seen walking down a random hallway, hoping to avoid any battle droids on the ship. Padme then notices a busted comm panel nearby and walks over to it along with 3PO. "Pardon me, but might I suggest we keep moving? I think I hear battle droids approaching," 3PO said as he looked around. "But we also need to contact the fleet. If I can just get this comm panel working," Padme said as she pressed some buttons and pulled some wires until 3PO looked around a corner and saw Naruto and Grievous approaching with a group of battle droids following. "My lady, I'm afraid I was right," 3PO warned Padme before she grabbed him and hid behind some debris. As Naruto and Grievous walked by, they noticed something off about the comm panel, but were broken out of their thoughts as a battle droid's voice came from Grievous's comm link. General," a battle droid called. "What?" Grievous asked in anger, still irritated about being blown up. "The damage to the hyperdrive was not as bad as we first thought, we should be able to get underway again shortly," the droid answered. "I must inform Count Dooku," Grievous said before turning to Naruto. "Stay here, continue the search, find the stowaway and bring them to me." Naruto nodded and Grievous walked off, leaving Naruto and the droids there. "Well, you heard the general. Get looking for the senator," Naruto ordered calmly to the commander battle droid. "Roger, roger," the droid said and led the other battle droids past Naruto down the hall. Naruto took one last glance at the debris that Padme and 3PO were behind from the corner of his eye before walking off. As he left, Padme moved the debris aside and started working on the comm panel again, not noticing that Naruto was watching from around a corner. The twilight. As the twilight flew, Obi-Wan and Ahsoka were starting to get worried. "If they spot us we'll be pulverized," Obi-Wan stated. "They're too busy repairing the ship. They don't have time to notice us," Anakin said with confidence. "Subtlety has never been one of your strong points, Anakin," Obi-Wan commented. "Everything I know, I learned from you, Master," Anakin said. "Oh, if only that were true," Obi-Wan sighed. "That's my master," Ahsoka stated, making the two masters chuckle. They soon flew to the emergency airlock and connected the top of the ship to it. As they docked, two battle droids were shaken by the movement and noise. "What was that?" one droid questioned. "What?" the other asked. "That noise, didn't you hear it? It sounded like a ship docking at one of the emergency airlocks," the first one said. "Their circuits are loose, no one's crazy enough to do that," the second said as they walked towards said airlock. "Anakin, you're crazy," Obi-Wan said as he, Anakin, Ahsoka and R2 came up through an elevator. "Spinning is not flying. But it's a good trick," Anakin said. "We do not want to be spotted," Obi-Wan stated as the airlock door opened and they came face to face with the two battle droids from a second ago. "Ah. I knew it. It's them," the first one yelled in surprise. "Oh no," the second one said dryly, already knowing what's about to happen. Obi-Wan and Anakin looked at each other before quickly drawing their lightsabers and cutting the droids down. "You stay here, R2," Anakin said, getting a few beeps as a yes as Anakin, Obi-Wan and Ahsoka took off down the hall. As they're running, Anakin is contacted on his communicator. "Yes?" Anakin asked. "Skywalker, we found the senator. I'm patching her through," Plo stated. "Padme?" Anakin called. "Anakin?" Padme responded. "Are you alright, where are you?" Anakin asked. "On the lower levels. I'm fine but I don't know for how long, droids are everywhere," Padme stated. "Obi-Wan, Ahsoka, and I are on board too," Anakin stated. What are you doing here?" Padme asked in surprise. "We came to get you off this ship." "Plo, how can we get to the senator?" Anakin asked. "According to our scans, there seems to be a large open area in the center of the ship. It should be halfway between the two of you," Plo answered. "We're on our way, did you hear that, Padme?" Anakin asked. "With Padme?" "I'll be there," Padme confirmed into the comm panel before she and 3PO headed in that direction, neither one noticing Naruto as he dropped from the ceiling before following them at a distance. "So, the GD boarded the ship to rescue the senator. Well, that makes things both fun and easier for me. Besides, no doubt Grievous picked up their conversation already, so I better hurry before he shows," Naruto thought as he followed Padme and 3PO silently. "The Malevolence. Railjet area. I don't see her, Master," Ahsoka said as she looked around. "She's here, Ahsoka, I sense it," Anakin stated as he looked around also. Below them, Padme and 3PO are seen entering the railjet area. "This is where we're supposed to meet them. He's probably late again," Padme said as she looked around. "But we do have company of another sort," 3PO said as he and Padme turned around to see several battle droids come down the hall. Just then, Naruto jumped over the droids and landed between all of them in a crouch before standing at his full height. "Hello, Senator," Naruto greeted. Without hesitation, Padme quickly drew her blaster and started firing. At this, Naruto quickly drew his lightsaber and ignited the red blade, deflecting the shots fired at him. Overhead, Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Ahsoka hear the blaster fire and look to see it coming from down below. There. Anakin said as he saw Padme and 3PO being attacked by battle droids, and to his the other two Jedi surprise, the Sith was. Without a moment of hesitation, they down and run toward Padme and 3PO while jumping over railjets. While Padme is firing at Naruto and the droids, she and 3PO jump on a nearby railjet. Though, 3PO fell off and onto another railjet. Naruto quickly jumped and landed on the same railjet as Padme, surprising her. Looks like you have nowhere to run now, Senator, so make this easier for yourself and come quietly," Naruto said calmly. "As if I'm going anywhere. I'm not going to be some hostage to a Sith," Padme stated, but knew that he was right about her not having anywhere to go. Just then, Anakin and Ahsoka jumped onto another railjet nearby, making Padme smile. "Anakin," Padme called, causing Naruto to turn towards said Jedi and his Padawan. However, once Naruto and Ahsoka looked each other in the eyes, Ahsoka saw various emotions in Naruto's. Instead of seeing emotions like the normal ones a Jedi would expect to see in a Sith, she saw sadness, hurt, pain, and loneliness. Why does he have emotions like those? I thought he was like all Sith and didn't have emotions like those. Ahsoka thought, unable to tear her eyes away from his own as heartbeat increased. Why is my heart beating like this? Just then, a super battle droid overhead shot a rocket and blew up the track in front of Padme's railjet. Anakin told her to jump to him and she did. Anakin quickly caught her as promised, while Obi-Wan said he would get 3PO. However, Naruto was still distracted by Ahsoka, who just now noticed the destroyed rail and her eyes widened. "Naruto, jump!" Ahsoka yelled, but quickly covered her mouth, not believing what she just said, while Padme and Anakin looked at her like she was crazy. Naruto shook his head and looked to see why she told him to jump before quickly jumping across onto their railjet, making Anakin ignite his lightsaber. "So, you're the Sith that attacked my Padawan on Tatooine, Naruto Uzumaki," Anakin said with anger in his voice. "Oh, so you've heard of me?" Naruto asked amused. "Yeah, Ahsoka told me about you," Anakin replied. "Really? Well then, it's nice to know that I'm always on someone's mind. Especially someone attractive," Naruto said with a wink to Ahsoka, making her blush at the compliment before they all watched Naruto's eyes widen. "Wait minute, did I just say that out loud? Damn it." Everyone's sweat dropped at this, but were broken out at by Obi-Wan's voice on Anakin's communicator. "Anakin, I got separated from your droid," Obi-Wan stated. "3PO," Padme said in realization. Anakin sighed before turning to Ahsoka. "Ahsoka, take Padme and get back to the Twilight," Anakin ordered. "No, we can't leave yet. I overhead Grievous. Their hyperdrive is almost repaired. I'm already headed in that direction. So, I'll make certain that the hyperdrive stays offline," Obi-Wan said before ending the transmission. Anakin then contacted R2 and had him look for 3PO before turning to Ahsoka and Padme as the railjet was coming to a stop. "Ahsoka, Padme, when the railjet stops, get off fast and get to the bridge. Hotwire the ship and give Grievous a little surprise," Anakin said. "What about you, Master?" Ahsoka asked, watching Naruto from the corner of her eye. "I'll take care of the Sith," Anakin stated, making Ahsoka worry, but she didn't know why. The railjet came to a stop and Ahsoka and Padme quickly got off, Naruto not nothing to go after them as he eyed Anakin. "I'm surprised that you didn't try to stop them," Anakin said as prepared to attack with Naruto doing the same. "Let's just say that there's no reason for me to go after them," Naruto said with a smirk under his mask as he and Anakin jumped at each other. The Malevolence bridge. When Ahsoka and Padme got to the bridge, they were greeted to the sight of several battle droids cut to pieces with Naruto standing over them, leaning on a rail. "Well, isn't this a surprise? I get to fight you again, Jedi. Hope you're ready for round 2, Naruto said as he ignited his lightsaber. "Wait, we just left you with Anakin. How did you get here so fast?" Padme asked in shock, only to see Naruto tilt his head in confusion. "Oh, so the real me gets to fight the Jedi Knight while I get the Padawan? Man, that's not fair. Oh well, can't be helped," Naruto said as he charged at Ahsoka, who didn't have time to ask what he meant by real him. With Naruto and Anakin had are seen blocking, dodging, and using attacks as they fought. Naruto quickly dodged another slash and force pushed Anakin into a wall and ran at him. Anakin saw this and blocked the attack. However, kicked him in leg, knocking him off balance. Before Anakin hit the ground, Naruto caught him with force and slammed him on the ground before throwing him into wall and then into another wall before dropping him on the ground. "You give up yet, Jedi?" Naruto asked, but his answer came in the form of a crate slamming him into a wall. Anakin then got back up his feet, showing that he was using the Force to keep the crate on Naruto. Does that answer your question, Sith? Anakin asked. Naruto cut through the crate and glared at Anakin. He quickly ran at him and went for a slash. Anakin saw this and blocked it before using the Force to push Naruto back. However, he was surprised to see said Sith cross his fingers into a hand sign. Shadow clone jutsu. Naruto yelled, two other Narutos appearing in puffs of smoke. You can clone yourself. How? Anakin asked in surprise. Let's just say that where I'm from, doing this isn't impressive. It's the amount I can make. Naruto explained, but all three of their eyes soon widened before the real one started walking away. Sorry GD, but it looks like we'll have to continue our little fight some other time. Your Padawan and the Senator just reset the navicomputer to have this ship crash into the moon. If I were you, I'd get off as fast as possible. As soon as Naruto was far enough away, his clones dispelled. Anakin thought about his words and quickly headed for the twilight. But Ahsoka and Padme. After Padme moved all of the droids' bodies where they wouldn't be found, she worked on the navicomputer. Meanwhile, Ahsoka had been fighting Naruto for the past minute. Naruto knocked Ahsoka back with the force of his slash and ran at her after she stopped. However, just Naruto was an inch away from her, Ahsoka force pushed Naruto as hard as she could, sending him crashing into the viewport hard and getting sickening crunching sound come from him before he fell to the ground. Ahsoka then walked over to him as he was trying to get up and held the tip of her lightsaber at his face. It's over Sith, you're finished. Ahsoka stated. Fine, but let me just say one thing before you finish me. Naruto asked and got a nod from Ahsoka. You GD are all weak. All you do is follow your code and claim to protect people, but ask yourself, do you really believe in your code? What kind of question is that? Of course I believe in it. Ahsoka answered quickly. Really? You GD claim to be peacekeepers. You claim to protect people. You even claim that you don't form attachments. Well, it's all lies. All of you GD are Hippocrates to your own code. You all fight in a war, protect only those on your side, and form relationships with people all the time. Naruto said, making Ahsoka's eyes widen at his logic. So what, are saying the Sith are stronger because of that? Ahsoka asked, ready to stab the blonde. No, that's not what I'm saying at all. Sith are just as weak as you GD, and it's because of our own code as well, but here's the difference. Sith are free to do as they wish, but they only do it for themselves. GD are limited in what they do, but at the cost of their own lives. Someone once told me that when a person has something that they want to protect, that's when they can truly become strong. Naruto stated. Think it over GD. Goodbye for now. The next thing Ahsoka saw was Naruto explode into smoke. She was thinking about his words and actually thought that they made sense. However, Padme got her attention and after she said that the navicomputer was set, they soon got back to the twilight with the others and left. However, they soon found themselves being chased by both Naruto and Grievous, both flying their respective starfighters, along with several vulture droids. However, after Grievous was contacted by a battle droid, he was soon told that the Malevolence was headed for the moon. After that, he was contacted by Dooku, but cut off his transmission without a word before jumping into hyperspace. And with a flash of light, the Malevolence launched into the nearby moon and was destroyed upon impact. As he watched this, Naruto couldn't hold in his laughter. Ahahaha, well, something tells me that Grievous is going to get one hell of an earful of this the next time Master Dooku sees him. Naruto said before jumping into hyperspace himself. Naruto is seen meditating in his room. It had been a week since the Malevolence was destroyed, but lucky for Naruto, only Grievous was blamed for it due to his arrogance. Naruto was trying to figure out why he was having odd feelings about that GD Padawan, Ahsoka. Why is it that every time I see her, my heartbeat increases? I don't get it. I couldn't have feelings for her, can I? No, that's just crazy. I mean, she's a GD and I'm a Sith. We're meant to be enemies. And if that's not the case, she's with the Republic and I'm with the Separatists. Damn it, I've asked myself this too many times to count, but why is life so hard? Naruto thought as he meditated. However, Naruto is soon broken out of his thoughts by the sound his master entering the room. Naruto opened his eyes and turned to him. Yes master? Naruto asked. Naruto, I have a mission for you. Dooku answered. Oh, what mission might that be? Naruto asked curiously. There is a Republic base on the planet Fusia. I want you to go and take for the Separatist Alliance. Dooku replied, making Naruto raise a questioning brow. Me? Isn't leading attacks like that Grievous's job? Naruto asked, making Dooku growl under his breath at the name. Normally yes, but considering his recent failure, I'm trusting this mission in your hands. You must take this base by any means necessary. Dooku answered. Well then, I might as well get going then. Is there anything that I should be warned about before I leave? Naruto asked as he stood up and walked toward the door. Yes, a GD on the GD Council is there. Her name is Shakti. Be aware that she is not to be underestimated. Dooku warned. Good to know. Naruto said before leaving. Naruto soon walked outside and saw that his astromech droid R4G0 was already in his Sith starfighter ready to go. As the name implies, R4 is an R4 astromech droid unit with an R5 unit's head. He was black with orange markings. R4, I see that you're ready to go. That's good. Naruto said as he climbed into his ship and flew off before jumping into hyperspace. Volusia. Soon enough, Naruto's ship came out of hyperspace and into a battle between Republic and Separatist ships. He quickly flew past the battle and entered the planet's skies. He soon saw the base and flew toward it. However, as came overhead, he saw that the battle had already begun, but the battle droids were getting nowhere as they were attacked by heavy cannon fire from inside the base and a walker that was leading the clone infantry. He also noticed that their tanks were being targeted the most by the cannons. Well, I think that I've got a plan for how to take this base faster than where we're getting now. Naruto said to himself as he flew ship over to the Separatist command area and landing his ship. When he got out, he walked for a bit before finding just the tactical droid he was looking for and walking up to him. Greetings Naruto, I am TZ-33. Count Dooku informed us you were coming. TZ stated. Nice to meet you. Now, tell me what we're up against. Naruto ordered calmly, getting a nod from the droid. Of course, follow me. TZ said as Naruto walked over to a table showing a holographic map of the whole battlefield from their position to the inside of the base. As you can see, our forces are being overwhelmed by the enemy and our tanks are unable to get close due to the enemy's cannons and their walker is making it difficult for them to aim over the base's walls without getting blasted. I see, so those cannons need to be taken out as well as that walker. Without either of those, the clones won't stand a chance and our forces'll mow right over them. Naruto said as watched a hologram closely before an idea hit him. In that case, pull the tanks back and have our infantry continue their advance. In the meantime, just leave those cannons to me. But sir, what about the walker? TZ asked. Simple. Once the cannons are gone, have several tanks stay at a good distance and aimed at the walker, while the rest move in to cover our troops from enemy forces. Once this attack is over, the base will be ours. Naruto explained, getting an understanding nod from the droid. I see, but how would you get into the base? It is heavily fortified. TZ asked. Naruto thought for a second before seeing a battle droid getting on a step. You there, droid? Naruto yelled, getting said droid's attention. Yes sir? The droid asked, scared that he was called out. I'm going to need that step if you don't mind. Naruto said as he walked over and got on, not waiting to get a reply before taking off toward the base. Republic Outpost. Control Center. DD General Shakti is seen watching the battle from the viewport of the base. As she is watching the clone push back the droid army, Commander Fox walks up behind her. General, the enemy are pulling back their tanks, but their infantry is standing strong. Fox stated. Very good Commander. Anything else? Shakti asked. Yes, an unknown ship landed in the enemy's command area. It matches the description of the Sith starfighter we heard about from General Skywalker. Fox replied. I see, then this Naruto Uzumaki is here. In that case, be on guard and prepare for anything that is to come. If what we heard is true, then this Sith is not to be underestimated. Shakti ordered, getting nod from Fox. Yes sir General. Fox said before walking off, leaving Shakti to turn back to the viewport in thought as she remembered when she and the other Jedi Masters learned of the Sith. Flashback. Jedi Temple. Council Chambers. All Jedi Masters were present in the council chambers, all sitting in their respective seats. In the center of the room was Anakin and Ahsoka. Both Jedi had just explained their encounters with Naruto, making all of the Masters think. So you're saying that this Naruto could clone himself? Mace Windu asked, almost not believing. Yes Master, I witnessed it firsthand. If he hadn't left when he did, I probably wouldn't have stood much chance if he stayed and fought me. Anakin answered. This is unheard of. No Jedi or Sith in our history has ever been known to make copies of themselves. Obi-Wan said as he scratched his beard in thought. Ahsoka, I also noticed in both of yours and Skywalker's accounts that you screamed for the Sith to jump after the railjet bridge was destroyed. Care to enlighten us as to why that is? Plo asked. I don't know Master. It's just when I looked him in the eyes, I saw emotions that a Sith shouldn't have. I saw hurt, pain, sadness, and loneliness. I can't explain why I did what I did, but for some reason, it felt like the right thing to do. Ahsoka answered. The Masters all looked at each other for a moment before turning back to Anakin and Ahsoka. We'll speak more on that matter another time. For now, we're more interested in hearing what he said about the Jedi Code. From the sound of it, he has a different point of view of both it and the Sith Code. Shakti stated, getting a nod from Ahsoka. Yes master, he said that us Jedi were weak because of our code, but he also said that Sith were just as weak due to their own code as well. His very words were, if a person has something important they want to protect, that's when they can become truly strong. Ahsoka said. At this, Yoda rubbed his chin and thought before speaking. Like Sith before him, this Sith is not strong with the Force, he is a curious one, this Naruto is. Yoda said. Indeed, but nevertheless, he is a Sith and we cannot just let him wander the galaxy. If any of yous face him, we should not hesitate to either bring him in or bring him down. May stated, getting nods from most of the Jedi, minus Ahsoka. But, Naruto's not like any other Sith, he's different. They can't just kill him for that. Naruto, please if you face any of the masters here, please turn yourself in. Ahsoka thought, stopping herself from saying anything she'd regret. However, nobody noticed that Shakti had a thoughtful expression on her face. Flashback end. After Shakti heard what Naruto thought about both the Jedi and Sith codes, she was thinking that they held great value to them and she could tell that the other masters thought the same thing, even if they didn't say it. Just who are you, Naruto Uzumaki? Shakti asked herself as she continued to watch the battle. With Naruto. As Naruto is closing in on the Republic base, he sees the clones are starting to fire on him. He draws and ignites his lightsaber and starts deflecting blast after blast as he continues on his path towards the base. However, one clone got lucky and hit the bottom of Naruto's step, causing it to start to go down. Damn it. Naruto cursed before getting on the top of the step and using a force-enhanced jump to off of it and land on the 8. He ran and cut the walker's cannon in half. The clone using drew his blaster and fired. However, Naruto was too fast and ran up to the clone and kneed him hard in the face, sending him flying off of the walker. Naruto then ran toward the edge of the walker before jumping off with another force-enhanced jump and over the walls of the base. When he came toward the ground, he did a tuck and roll before getting to his feet with lightsaber ignited and started deflecting blasts and cutting down various clones that got too close to him, not that he enjoyed doing so. In fact, what he was doing was making him sick to his stomach, but he choked it down nonetheless. It's a Sith, blast him. Let him. Take him out before he gets to the cannons. These were a few things that various clones yelled as they blasted at Naruto with everything they had, some of them getting their shots deflected back at them. Naruto then got to the cannons and saw that there were only 4 of them, but that they had the most troops around them, all their blasters aimed at him. Surrender Sith, you're outgunned. One clone yelled, making Naruto smirk under his mask. Outgunned? Yes. Outnumbered though. No. Naruto said as he crossed his hands into his usual hand sign. Shadow clone jutsu. In some puffs of smoke, several Narutos appeared, shocking the clones. What the hell? Did he just clone himself out of thin air? One clone asked, not believing what he just witnessed. Boys, take care of these guys and those cannons while I head for the control center. Naruto said, getting a nod from all of his clones before they jumped at the clone troopers while the real Naruto headed for a nearby entrance and entered the base. While this happened, Naruto didn't notice that he had been watched by Shakti the whole time, making her think to herself. So, this is the Sith that I heard about. It would seem that he's even more unpredictable than I thought. Shakti thought. However, she was broken out of her thoughts by Fox and 2 other clone troopers. General, the September S are inside the base, but we don't know how they got in. Fox stated, making Shakti turn to them. Actually Commander, I'm afraid that it's only one person who has entered the base, the Sith. Shakti said, surprising the clones. What? But how's that possible? One only shouldn't be able to take on an entire base by himself, Sith or not. Fox said, not believing that one man is that good. Sir, the Sith is heading for our location. What's our plan of attack? A clone at a computer asked. Prepare for attack. I want several men positioned at the doorway and ready to fire. Shakti ordered, several clones getting in front of the open doorway while Shakti ignited her blue-bladed lightsaber. They didn't have to wait long though before Naruto came around the corner. Blast him. Fox yelled as he and his fellow troops fired at the blonde. Naruto ran down the hall and dodged or deflected most of the shots. The minute he was close enough, he force-pushed all of the clones out of the way and ran inside. The minute he did, he lifes his lightsaber and blocked a downward slash from Shakti. They stayed in place, trying to overpower the other until they jumped away from the other and stared at each other. So, you are the Sith Naruto Uzumaki, correct? Shakti asked. Yeah, that's me. I guess you must be Jedi Master Shakti. I gotta say, this is an honor in more ways than one. Naruto said, making Shakti raise an eyebrow. Why might that be Sith? Shakti asked, making Naruto eye smile. The first reason is because I get to fight a master on the Jedi Council. The second reason is because I get to meet another very attractive Jedi. Naruto replied, making Shakti blush at the compliment before watching as his eyes widened. Damn, did I really just say that out loud again? He thinks I'm attractive. No one's ever know, I can let my emotions get the better of me. He's a Sith. He's probably just trying to get my guard down. Shakti thought as she steeled herself and stood in her attack position, making Naruto do the same. I'll give you one chance, Jedi, give up now or else. Naruto threatened. You're in no position to be making threats, Sith. I'm not going to let walk away from this. So, I'll give you a choice. Surrender peacefully or I'll have no other choice but to destroy you. Shakti stated, making Naruto sigh. Sorry Jedi, but no. You seem very honest with your proposal, but even if I did surrender, who's to say that I wouldn't be killed by you or if you bring me before them, the rest of the Jedi Council? Naruto said, making Shakti look a little ashamed. I am sorry then. As much as I think you seem very different from any other Sith I've heard about, I'm afraid that if I let you live then the galaxy would be in danger. Shakti said as she looked behind Naruto and saw that Fox had gotten back up and aiming his blaster pistol at the back of said blonde's head. I'm sorry too then. Naruto said before spinning around and cutting the blaster in half. At this, Fox went for a punch, but Naruto easily dodged it before grabbing the outstretched appendage and throwing him at Shakti, who caught him with the force. However, Naruto appeared in front of her went for slash, only for Shakti to block with her lightsaber. She quickly put down Fox and used her now free hand to force push Naruto off her. She then turned to Fox. Commander, leave the Sith to me. You go and help the men. Shakti ordered, getting a nod from the clone before he left the room. Naruto and Shakti then jumped at each other once more and started delivering all sorts of attacks, trying to overwhelm the other, but to no avail. Naruto then jumped up high and landed on the ceiling. He then put his lightsaber away before summoning a clone who started forming energy in Naruto's opened right palm. At this, Shakti was surprised. She didn't know what she was looking at, but whatever it was couldn't be good. Back outside. After taking out 3 of the cannons, most of the Naruto clones were gone after a few good hits and shots from the remaining clone troopers. The last of the shadow clones was running at the last cannon and was planning to cut it in half before it fire. However, one clone trooper got behind him and shot him. As the shadow clone fell toward the ground, he accidentally swung his lightsaber and cut off the front leg of the cannon. Uh-oh. Naruto said as he watched the cannon fall. Unfortunately, as the cannon hit the ground, it fired a shot that just barely flew over the base walls and into the surrounding giant plants of Fusia. There was a loud explosion, and the next sound that came made the battle between the clones and droids come to a halt. Raya. Several vicious roars that didn't sound the least bit friendly. Oh damn, that's not good. The shadow clone said before it dispelled. Back inside. As soon as Naruto's clone dispelled, his eyes widened in shock. What the hell was that? Naruto asked himself out loud, making Shakti look at him like he was crazy as she watched his unknown attack disappear. What are you talking about, Sith? Shakti asked, not understanding what Naruto was asking. Her answer came in the form of her communicator going beeping before a clone's voice came out. General, come in. A clone yelled in what sounded like fear. Yes, what is it, trooper? Shakti asked, not taking her eyes off Naruto as he remained on the ceiling. We managed to force the droid army into full retreat, but now, some giant creatures just came out of nowhere and started attacking our forces. There's Raya. No. Stay back. Back. AHHHHH. After the transmission, there was nothing but static, making Shakti look on with wide eyes. Naruto was just as shocked. Whatever had attacked the clone was no doubt a very dangerous predator of Fusia. He and Shakti then looked in the distance of the base and saw several giant bug-like creatures killing various clones that were blasting them, but only pissing them off. Naruto looked further than Shakti and saw that the droids that had retreated didn't get far before they were destroyed by the same creatures and cursed under his breath. Well, it would seem that rogue shot awoke a nest of nearby Aayla. Naruto commented as he jumped from the ceiling and landed safely. He then walked over to Shakti, putting her on guard. What she wasn't expecting, however, was for Naruto to stop not too far from her and extend his hand to her. What are you doing, Sith? Shakti asked with suspicion in her voice. The temporary truce between you and I. As much as I'd like to just leave and fight these things, I couldn't live with myself if I just left someone as pretty as you to deal with them. Naruto relied, a blush under his mask. Shakti was surprised by his reasoning and blushed at his compliment of her. She looked into his eyes to see if he was lying, but saw no lies at all, only determination. She knew that the council was going to have her head for this, but knew that if she didn't accept the blonde's help, her men would be slaughtered. She took his hand and shook it firmly. Very well, Sith, I accept your help. Shakti said, making Naruto give her an eye smile. You know, you could use my name instead. It's not too hard to remember. Naruto said with amusement as they headed outside. Outside? When Naruto and Shakti got outside, they saw that several Aayla had entered the base and were slaughtering clone after clone. Naruto actually cringed at the sight of a clone getting tossed around inside one's mouth before it bit him in half. Don't get him wrong, I fought an Aayla in his Sith training once, but that was one. Fighting an Aayla is one thing. Fighting a nest of them is another. Naruto and Shakti then jumped toward the nearest ones and started attacking the large bugs. Naruto cut off the leg of one before it could stab a downed clone. He then cut off the other leg, making the beast fall toward him, but Naruto cut its head off, killing it in one go. Shakti jumped on one's back and didn't hesitate to stab it, causing it to roar in pain before it fell to the ground dead. She looked over and saw Naruto do the same as her before he jumped off of the falling creature and throwing his lightsaber at another, cutting off its 3 left legs before using the force to bring his weapon back to him. The clones around the beast got up close and shot it with Z6 rotary blasters, killing it. I must say, even though he's a Sith, he would make quite the Jedi Knight. Shakti thought before using the force to lift 2 clones and place them overhead on a wall to provide covering fire with RPS-6 rocket launchers. However, Shakti didn't see the Aayla behind her in time to react and was hit away with its clawed limb and into a wall hard, her lightsaber knocked out of her hand to who only knows where. Raya. The beast roared as it walked toward Shakti menacingly. Shakti groaned as she rubbed her head and saw that 2 more had joined the first one and all 3 were walking toward her with hunger in their triple eyes. She looked around for her weapon but didn't find it, and to make matters worse, she had nowhere to run. She was stuck between a rock and a hard place. She was going to try and get up, but one was over her before she knew it and its open mouth descended toward her. She closed her eyes in fear of her coming death but didn't feel anything. She opened her eyes and saw, to her surprise, that Naruto had somehow gotten in front of her and stabbed the Aayla in the center eye. "You okay, Shakti?" Naruto asked in a more feral voice. If Shakti could see his eyes, she would have seen the red slitted eyes. He didn't know why it was, but for some reason, he was feeling the same thing for Shakti as he was for Ahsoka. He was going to think on his feelings later, but for now, he was going to do some serious exterminating. "Yes, I'm fine." Shakti answered before saying something she never thought she'd ever say to Sith. "Thank you." "Don't thank me yet. Just stay down and let me handle this," Naruto said as he looked at the last Aayla as he pulled his lightsaber from the one in front of him, its body falling to the ground lifeless. The one on the left was going to hit Naruto, but said Blonde used the force to push the dead one's body into it, knocking it away for later. Naruto jumped over a claw swipe of the one on his right before running slitting under it and cutting its gut open, killing the beast. When he came out on the other side, he watched with satisfaction as it fell to the ground in a lifeless heap. He then turned to the last one that was standing back up. Naruto put his lightsaber away again and started forming a Rasengan in his hand, but this time, he added the force into it and ran at the beast at inhuman speed. Before the creature even knew what hit it, Naruto jumped and plunged the force-enhanced Rasengan into the Aayla's head. "Force Rasengan!" Naruto yelled, sending the beast flying so fast and hard that it flew into the base's thick metal wall, turning it into an oversized stain of green blood and guts. The clone troopers saw this and were beyond shocked at what they saw. However, the one that was the most shocked was Shakti. Shakti watched this and remembered that it was the same attack he was going to use against her. She was actually thankful that he didn't use it on her. She then watched as Naruto panted before speaking into his communicator. "R4, bring the ship to my location. We're leaving," Naruto stated and received a few beeps and whistles as a reply. Naruto didn't have to wait long before his stealth starfighter came and landed in front of the entrance to the base. Naruto started walking to his ship but found himself surrounded by several clones. "Where do you think you're going, Sith?" Fox asked, ready to blast Naruto at any moment. However, Shakti walked up behind Naruto, raised her hand to stop the clones. "Lower your weapons, troopers," Shakti ordered calmly. Some of the clones looked confused but did as ordered nonetheless. "General?" Fox questioned. "It's alright, Commander Fox. Even though he is the enemy, he has helped us today, so we can allow him to leave, for now," Shakti explained, getting a nod from Fox. Naruto turned to Shakti with an eye smile. "Thank you, Jedi," Naruto thanked before seeing something shine in the corner of his eye and using the force to bring it to him, showing it to be Shakti's lightsaber and handing it to her. "You might want to keep that closer next time, that weapon is your life after all." "Indeed. Farewell, Naruto Uzumaki. Perhaps we'll meet again," Shakti said, getting a nod from Naruto. "Perhaps, see you around, Shakti. Maybe next time we can have a date and get to know each other," Naruto said with a wink, making Shakti blush and getting chuckles from several clones before his eyes widened. "Oh damn it, I said that out loud again. Me and my big mouth," Naruto said as he got in his ship and flew off. The clones soon walked back into the base, but Shakti stared at where Naruto flew to before a smile graced her face. I might just take you up on that offer, Naruto. Shocked he said before walking back inside the base. End chapter. So this part ends here. If you want to see next part of this series, like the video now and share the story with your friends. Bye bye.